So you have to ask yourself, are some of the old versions of so many figures, for example, such as the Anakin, the Wonder Woman, the Joker, this Captain Rex, Moff Gideon, Iron Man's, Spider-Man's, are they going to become worthless? And if so, does that tie directly into what's going on in current times with this economy, with the market? We're going to dive into that within this episode for sure. And right on cue, baby. It's the Hot Toys Wizard. Come on. All right, let's pick it up. Wizard, what's going on? Wizard? Wait. I didn't even pick up and he hung up already. I've got the coffee brewed fresh right here, my friends. Let's go ahead and dive into all this right now. Hey, and all right. And welcome everyone to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. And just in case you don't know just who I am the Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington, about to serve up all the 6 Scale Hot Toys talk. So please go ahead and smash that like button. I so do very much appreciate your support, baby. And hey, while you're at it, why not also go ahead and subscribe to the 6 Scale Cantina? Again, thank you so much for your support. Getting right into it. You know, it is a wonderful question to really ask. Are some of the old versions of some of these new, arguably improved, better figures going to make the older versions worthless? And there's a lot going on in the market and a lot that we could tie in to really look at this to what's going on. And it may not be as simple of an answer as you may think, but then again, maybe it is. Let's take a look at what's going on, everybody. And pulling this up onto the screen, look, this is a pretty good price for OG Mando and the Blurg. OG Mando, which has long been sold out. And not even a bite. From an outstanding seller with 1,535 feedback, all 100% positive. Not even a bite. Yeah, it's $75 in shipping, but this is a gosh darn huge piece to get. Nothing. No bites. Has the amount of figures for this particular version of this character and this blurg, has it maxed out? Is there going to be thousands of collectors coming in over the next few years that will eat this stock up? It's absolutely a very interesting question. Let's continue to look at some other stuff, going into another IP. And you could look right here at Captain America from Endgame, MMS 536. And quite frankly, a really, really good price at 2 cents under $200, $199.98. Another outstanding seller, 506 feedback. Oh, 100% positive. No one's bought it yet. With free shipping, baby. With free shipping. I mean, when these figures, are showing in stock at a lot of comic shops, online retailers, so on and so forth, at this point, the people that have already got them, they've kind of wore out their welcome, exhausted their demand. All the juice was squeezed into this Cantina coffee. Is it possible that that's what's going on? You're watching the Market Chart Show. Smash that like button, baby. I say yes. I think that that is what's going on. I don't believe it has really anything to do with any type of IP fatigue. Gosh, we can argue IP fatigue to the end of the day. It looks like everything's exhausted. Everyone has fatigue on it. I think what the issue is there's just not enough money in the wallets, not enough money in the pocketbooks, not enough money in the savings account, the checking account, any account. It's just, and the hobby is readjusting to the demand that should be there versus to what was thought to be there. This is kind of, I've showed this to you week after week, time after time, and again and again. But there is money out there. Because how do you explain this? Putting this up onto the screen, you could look at Moon Knight right here with 4 days and 7 hours left. That's a monstrous amount of time. Already up to $202.50 with 18 bids. What an outstanding seller with 4,683 feedback. All 100% positive. I will tell you, just from collecting vintage carded for years and boxed, 18 bids already at 202. You get some 21 backs and 12 backs and mint and sealed box figures that are fetching up at these prices out with 4 days left. Now, they may end over 1,000 or 2,000, but this is a pretty good sign. This is a pretty good sign of where this is going. And this will go somewhere over $300. But this figure, ladies and gentlemen, just came out. Why is it moving differently than Cable, than Iron Man, than all the other versions of Spider-Man, than all the other versions of Wonder Woman, than the old version of Moff Gideon, the OG Mando? What's going on? Why is this? And continuing to go on, you could pull this up on the screen with Moon Knight. And you could see right here, just on August 19th, just sold. This seller here with 128,144 feedback, just gone. Well over retail and just selling. No problem at all, unlike the aforementioned ones I put up. And you have to wonder, is the difference what you're seeing here on the screen, the fact that Moon Knight is on Waitlist? Came up, came on, there was an opportunity, and now it's gone. Let's continue to go on. I could pull this up onto the screen right here. And speaking of Cable, $162.49. And this is an outstanding seller with 13,187 feedback. And guess what? All 100% positive. $162, guys. Only $21.28 in shipping, not including taxes. This can't move it. Where's the demand? Like Moon Knight. And again, because when you pull this up onto the screen, unlike Moon Knight, this is in stock. This is available. Whether it's the exclusive limit one per person or the collector that's just available. It's just, when it was up there, when it was on pre-order, it just exhausted anybody who was going to get it. And this goes to show that people that are coming into this hobby aren't coming in by the thousands per month or the thousands per year that maybe some have thought that was happening with Hot Toys. It's just not. And that is why I believe it plays some factor into why you're seeing so many figures go on waitlist within a month, within a couple months, within 3 months now, even when we were shocked that they were going on waitlist between 6 and 9 months just a little bit ago with those figures. It was like, gosh, they're not getting in stock? They're not like getting released in Hong Kong first and then waiting 5 months and then getting to Sideshow and having them there at Sideshow for 4, 5, 6 months before they go on waitlist like a few years ago, and when everyone was kind of used to that, and it was kind of like, wow, that's crazy that Cody went on waitlist in 2.5 months after it was released in Hong Kong, and you had 4 or 5 months and got in stock, and those days are long gone. And then we went to the days of the bargain bin where it was like, hey, these aren't going on waitlist anymore in 3, 5 months. As a matter of fact, baby, they're not going on waitlist in 8, 9 months. Furthermore, they're not going on waitlist after a year, year and a half, 2 years. What's going on? Then we went to those days. Now we're going into a whole new era. And when you tie that into what's going on in the economy, what has been going on the last several years in the economy, the outlook for the economy, not only here in the United States where I'm based, but in the UK, in Russia, in the whole world. These kind of adjustments all tie in together. What does that mean specifically for 6-scale collectibles? Well, it means that what you're seeing right here are things that you're probably never going to see in the near future again. Even look at some more recent ones. And you could look from here, and this is an outstanding seller. And many of you buy from Ray. I buy from Ray at Hawk Wars Toys. Gosh, I just opened up my Chrome Mandalorian with the Pedro Pascal head sculpt and the Grogu. I love that figure. Thank you, Ray. That was awesome. Came double boxed. Came with a couple of comic books, or a comic book and a couple of stickers, and love it. But, you know, he has 1,765 feedback now. All 100% positive. And unlike that other Moon Knight figure that I put up with 4 days, this has 3 days and $51. That's the huge demand. Oh boy. And again, when you go ahead and you look at this, my friends, and you pull up Wenwu, what's the difference? You could add it to cart. It's in stock. And that is a phenomenal, phenomenal head sculpt, baby. Absolutely phenomenal. But then when you go ahead and you compare it now, ladies and gentlemen, to this. And this is Hawk Wars Toys again. And look at the difference here with Hawk Wars. $430. Best offer, probably around $415. Maybe $410. What? This figure is selling like it's a Grail. And you have to ask yourself, is Crosshair already a Grail? And I say, yes. It is. It is. Continuing to go on. Look at another Crosshair. And you could just see sold for $420 from this another outstanding seller with 13,029 feedback. So Ray probably sold this for around $415, $420. This sold for $420. Gosh, just the other day. Okay, just the other day. And this is a far, far cry from this figure, which has no bites whatsoever, and you could pick this up for like 60-70% less. And how long were people, oh, we need cable, where's cable? I don't got cable. Where's cable? When's cable coming out? Remember all that? When's cable coming out? I bet they couldn't wait to put that one out because they probably couldn't lessen the pre-orders on that, and it came out, and here you go. And then, does this mean that a lot of the pre-orders in the future, like, you ain't making that mistake again? I think you could kind of bet on that, my friends. Let's continue to go on with some data. And how many people now weren't looking forward to this figure? Weren't looking forward to this figure at all because of something with the movie, which this was one of my favorite Matrix movies besides, I really just like this movie personally. But there's so little of these made. This is such a small, and I can tell you right now that the production release of this Neo is less than the Artisan Joker at 4,000, without question. And we're going to go into that in a little bit. And I'm going to show you how these numbers work. And so stay tuned in, because I'm going to help you out over here to understand what kind of production numbers Hot Toys is producing with right now. But so much for, this is going to, and this figure is going to have demand like the old one. Not because necessarily the movie's better, but because it's going to be even way more rare than that older one. But this ain't selling like Iron Man Mark 40. This is selling more than Iron Man Mark 85 Battle Damage or not. The juice was already squeezed. Does that mean that this Neo is more popular than Iron Man? See, ladies and gentlemen, it has nothing to do with the character or how popular it is. It has to do with how much quantity. You could put out a character that nobody really cares about. If you only put out 300, like that quarter scale Iron Man with the golden armor, and you serialize it, it's going to be worth buku bucks. One of the most sought out and probably the most prestigious Star Wars commercially carded figure of all time is from the Droids cartoon flicks. And they released that flicks on the Glasslight. It was a foreign carded division of Kenner working together. So little, maybe, I don't know, a dozen, 2 dozen. Do you know Flix? A lot of people don't know that. They don't know what Flix is. That's not Boba Fett. That's not Luke Skywalker. What's Flix? Oh, who cares? Nobody cares about Flix. Well, they care because it's a low number. And is it possible that that is becoming a big part of the collecting game in Hot Toys? And I say yes. Why? Because it's a big part in any collecting game. Do not kid yourself. You can wish it not to be. You can try to use the Force to make it not be. But it is. It just is. It just is. Let's continue to go on. Look at this Garfield Spider-Man. And here's our buddy Ray again. Talk about selling. Not even a best offer. Just $375. Sold, baby. This just came out. What is this? Arena Fett? Maybe more rare than Arena Fett. Who knows? Wow. Big difference. Big difference. Checkity outy thisy. I heard who's going to want this Iron Man? Oh, there's so many Iron Mans. Who's going to want this? Well, there's 21 bids, and this is a great seller with 195 feedback, all 100% positive. I've heard all the things. So many Iron Mans. What's going on with all these Iron Mans? This one doesn't even come with a head sculpt. 640 smack-aroos. Why? Is it because it's limited to 1,500 pieces in the world, in the solar system, in the galaxy, in the universe, in any alternate universe? And I say, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, it could be Vlix. They're putting out a Vlix. What's Vlix? Who's Vlix? I don't want Vlix. I might add that to my collection. No, I'm going to pass on that. Buyer pass. Limited to 300. You know what? It's going to be more sought after than half the Iron Mans out there. And you're wondering why I've been saying more and more announcements, less numbers of those releases, less volume, way less volume. Is that what we're moving into? Let's continue to go on, continue to go down here. And you could look at this up on the screen. And you could see right here, and you never, and I mean ever see this. What? Toys for Adults is out of stock? At $882.99, ladies and McGentlemen. Gal Gadot. You know, what I feel is, I'll explain that in a minute, but it's gone. Why is it gone? Because there's only 1,500 in the universe. There's only so many that Toys for Adult is going to be able to sell. And there's a lot of collectors, including me. I have one of these. I'm not selling it. I didn't buy it to sell it. I didn't buy it to capitalize on it. I bought it to keep it. And you're going to find that a lot with some of these figures. Let's go on to more of this Gal Gadot as we continue to look at some of these here. And right here, where is this tracking towards? Here's a best offer from this seller. $949, say $900, $850, $800. I could care less. Over like $900 for this figure, and an outstanding seller with 99 feedback, but all 100% positive. Are you kidding me? And why is this selling better? Why is this selling better than the other Wonder Woman versions that are out right now? Two reasons. Arguably, it's the best Wonder Woman, and arguably one of the best figures ever put out. Two, even if it wasn't, or no one knew who she was, like the aforementioned Vlix, there's only 1,500 of her. But when you mix in some goodness with some rareness that's documented, you've got that perfect storm for a Grail, McBabies. You really, 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 really do. And listen, I did a review on this, not to digress, but showing you real quick at 6scalecantina.com. Don't forget to bookmark it. But and you could go to the section where I give you a preview on all my insider stuff. And even though this wasn't an insider video, it was a preview, if you will, for what insiders get on my reviews and stuff like that. But I'll blow this up, and you could take a look at it right here. And this is showing on your screen. And just go right here to 6scalecantina.com. Click on this to watch this review. It's about 20 minutes, 19 minutes. Or go to 6scale Cantina, the channel right here, and just look up one of my latest videos. You'll see this pop up. But I tell you, and even the pictures and the close-up videos do not do this figure justice. It is absolutely, right now, currently, the centerpiece of my collection. And it's looking so, it looks so real, it's not even funny. But you may want to go check it out and check out my opinion on this figure for sure. You could also join the channel as well. You get a lot of stuff like that if you'd like to. Yeah. And if you're looking for this figure, I highly recommend, by the way, I bought this from Toys Buying Agent. And I know quite a few people that buy from them, and it's less expensive than what I was showing you that's up on eBay, by a couple $100 actually, all in. And remember this figure was $400 on Sideshow, but by the time you put in taxes and shipping and all that, it's not that bad. But you can go check out Toys Buying Agent. I bought it from there, and I've had no problems. Anyway, and these figures are selling like figures like this. And look at this as I put this up on the screen. And this is selling because it's been on waitlist forever. And not a whole lot of people want to sell this. I own one of these. And I know what I could sell this for. Especially with people know who I am. Do I want to sell it? And I say, no. I don't. But look at that. Used and just out in the open, $500 with 23 bids, not including the $14.05 in shipping, not including taxes, and an outstanding seller with 100% feedback. All 100%. $6,360. Even in this economy, things that are rare, things that are in demand, fetch the money. Unlike figures like this. Which is going to bring me to the next point. This Moff Gideon, I have this figure. It's an awesome figure. But with free shipping, baby. And an outstanding seller with 1,080 feedback, all 100% positive. Just $157.50. Just $157.50 for this figure. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all he wrote. That's all anyone wrote on this particular figure. Is this going on because not only is this still in stock, but a double whammy? You have arguably this version, which is superior in every way with rolling eyes function, arguably a much better head sculpt and updated outfit, all that stuff on here, helmet, all this stuff you can get. Is this part of the reason? And I say yes. What does this mean in conjunction to everything I was showing you? What does this mean? Let me paint a little picture for you here. Do you guys remember when this was going for $600 to $800? Sideshow Captain Rex. Do you remember that? How many of you remember this? Not too long ago, actually. Because everybody always talks about how high up some of these Sideshow Star Wars figures are, and they are. They are really high up until a better, more improved version comes out, and then they go down the tank. Remember how high this used to be? And this isn't a question of which one's better, Hot Toys or Sideshow. I really don't want to get into that. I'm telling you what's happening. Remember when this used to go for the same price, and now what? I mean, I feel bad because they're trying to sell these for, it seems like a reasonable price, but no one's buying them at this price. No one's buying them at this price, just like that Rex. Just like that Gideon. And you have to wonder, is the same thing going to happen with some of these figures that are up on this banner? Such as with Anakin, such as with Wonder Woman, such as with the Joker. And I say, we're going to have to keep an eye on it. But there's going to be some degree of this. There is going to be some degree of this. I was just showing you the evidence of it. And I think where we miss, in my view, especially when it comes to Star Wars, and even though Star Wars isn't Marvel, okay, And it was originally made by Kenner. It's not Mego. It's not this one or that one. It comes from a line of thinking when a lot of the old vintage, especially still mint in the package action figures that we started off with in the 70s. Star Wars huge. GI Joes. Even later in the early in the early 80s, when you have your He-Man figures and your Transformer figures, and some of these are just really, really expensive. But what was unique about those collectibles is nobody was thinking they were going to be worth a dime in the future if you left them in the package. I mean, well, why are you keeping them in the package? You're not even enjoying the toy. Everybody was just ripping these things open every holiday, everything like that. You're opening it up, and it's just like every Christmas and whatever it is. You're opening it up, and how many people say, "Gosh, I wish I would have known back then. I would have just said thank you so much. I'm going to keep these in my dresser. I'm going to keep them in my toy box, nice in there. I'm going to go put them in the attic." And some people did, and they're reaping the benefits of those things. But that was a very unique dynamic. And everyone caught on to that as collecting went on. And when you look at Star Wars, and believe me, not only did I collect the vintage, but I collected all the orange Power of the Force Star Wars figures, for instance. The real big beefy ones that look like they were all, on steroids and pumping up the iron. And then later on, the green Power of the Force cards. And not just the figures, I'm talking about the vehicles. The 1/6 scale figures as well. All that kind of stuff. And then it went all the way into, freeze frame figures and the Power of the Jedi and all that kind of stuff in Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3. And everybody was trying to do the same thing. You can't even get retail on all those. You can't even give those things away. You can go buy a lot of 1,000 orange carded figures, which are really cool and look great in a collection, for about $100. It's not worth anything. Because that dynamic of it being rare is not present. Number one. Okay? Because trust me, the vintage Kenner figures of Star Wars, the vintage G.I. Joe, those vintage He-Man, those vintage figures, they made a ton of them, baby. They're not rare at all. There's so millions. What's rare is everybody opened up the darn things and everybody caught on, so no one's opening it up anymore. But that doesn't matter because there's too many of them. And then who wants to collect Power of the Force orange cards because the green cards are better? But then who wants the green cards because the Power of the Jedi line blows those away? And who wants those? Because if you look at what they're doing in 3 3/4 with the vintage collection, oh my God, they're just really, really good. Nobody's collecting those 12-inch figures from Hasbro. And if they were, when Hasbro came out with a new one that had a better head sculpt, those other ones would just go down in price in favor of the newer, more accurate looking ones. And you have to wonder, is that what's going on with Hot Toys? With like the Moff Gideon? With like some of these figures? And somewhat it is. Somewhat it is. For Hot Toys and some of these collectibles to maintain a collectible value because they don't have that vintage, that dynamic of everybody realizing don't open the package. That's already out of the bag. Everybody knows if you want to do that, to do that. What dynamic does it have to make it a collectible? What properties does it possess to allow it to be sought after? And number one, needs to be rare. Number two, needs to have demand. And number three, especially for the new versions, has to be premium. And is that what's going on with Hot Toys getting into these artisan lines? And I say yes, in part. And part of making things more collectible is being able to adjust to the market, adjust to the global economy, adjust to collectors' wallets, which is what is speaking, quite frankly, and not to any collector's fault. We just got to have money for fuel. Money for eggs, baby. A dozen eggs. Money for half and half. Money for coffee. Food and energy are volatile. They're just volatile commodities, baby. They just are. Okay? But they're adjusting to it. They're adjusting. Look at this up on the screen. And here's where the adjustment is. This has sorted out everything Star Wars on Sideshow, best-selling wise. When did we have this wonderful parade? Which was, I can't wait to do it again, for the Artisan Anakin. And we all know that it didn't even sell 3,000. It was about 2,000 of these, I guess, here for Sideshow, or 1,800, or whatever the heck it was. 3,000 worldwide, but let's just say, for argument's sake, it was a couple thousand, okay? Here. 2,000. Here, on Sideshow. That Moff Gideon didn't sell that yet. That Praetorian Guard sure as crap ain't selling that. I can go down, and you could imagine, now I'm not talking about some of these other figures that have been up for a while that are premium, like Lord Vader, or that Cad Bane, but when you go down this list and you look at some of them, like the ones I just mentioned, how many of that Gideon? How many of that Praetorian Guard? Let's continue to scroll down. You have to wonder. You know, how many of that 3PO? Don't even have me go there, because I'm telling you that Attack of the Clones one is going to be so rare. So rare. That IG-12, there's not a chance in any universe that they produce more of this IG-12 than that Artisan Joker. Not even in the ballpark. Same thing with that R5. They're just not. Look at this. It kind of tells you the tale, baby. It kind of tells you the tale. Let's get out of Star Wars, though. Let's get out of Star Wars. Let's go to DC. Everybody loves DC. And pulling that up onto the screen. Let's see what's best selling. Oh, look, the Joker. The Joker is what's best selling. And I just want DC. Here we go. What's underneath the Joker? Wow. That Batman from The Flash? Less or more than that Artisan Joker? I already know the answer. I know it's less. How about that bike for $665? I know it's less. Let's go to Marvel. Pulling DC off. Go to Marvel. Such a Marvel. Well, there you go. A lot of the ones that have been on sale, like Captain America. Kang just going on waitlist. Moving on up. Trying to get it last minute. Yeah. That Tony Stark Mark 7 suit up. Not anywhere close to that Artisan Joker, baby. Not anywhere close. A lot of these production numbers, ladies and gentlemen, is it possible that for some figures they'll be even less than the 3,000 Arena Fet or Artisan Anakin, or 4,000 from the Artisan Joker? And I say, yes. But why? Because of what I showed you at the beginning of the show, and what I've been showing you in every show. Remember, these are Hot Toys collectibles. They're not really collectible if every single one of them is just, there's just too many of them, and there's not enough money. The market is being adjusted. The mechanism in which these are offered is being adjusted. And this doesn't have the same dynamic as things in the past that we collected in the 70s and 80s, with keeping them in the package because nobody knows to do that, because everybody knows to do that, and nobody cares anymore because everybody's doing that. So there's no more dynamic that way. Then what makes something rare is for something to be truly rare. Those vintage carded and boxed are truly rare because they're truly rare because everybody didn't keep them in there. What else makes something truly rare? If it's just 1,500, guess what, baby? It's truly rare. Think about all the people on the planet. 1,500 is truly rare. And even though it doesn't come from the same way of it happening organically, like a lot of those vintage toys from the 70s and the 80s, it's still the same thing when you boil it down. It's rare, which is what makes it collectible, which is what makes it desirable, which is what brings money to this. Why bringing this back up on the screen? Did this go for 500 because it's cool? It is cool. The OG Mando on the blurg is cool too. Doesn't necessarily matter that it's cool. It's hard to get. Let's go to some waitlist alerts. We're going to go through this real quick. Number one, bringing this up, and this is not just happening with these IPs. It's happening with Star Wars, everyone, Marvel, DC. But you can see right here, all of these Cayman Riders, the Battle Hopper, they're all gone. Except for this one here that's almost gone. And these just came out. Let's continue to look at some more updates here. This is a projection. This is One Piece. And that show is pretty cool if you haven't checked it out on Netflix. This anime is extremely popular in Asia. But where Sideshow distributes, expect this to go on waitlist in a month. You could expect that. Let's continue to look at some more over here. This is extremely popular all over the world, but they're all gone. Just gone. Every one of them. Avatar. Gone. Let's continue to go to more. These right here, the Warriors of the Future, I believe, Johnson and Tyler, gone. Again, popular in Asia. Gone. Gone, gone, gone. This one, gone. And this is extremely popular. And if you think the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man is doing well, wait till you see this Friendly Neighborhood one of Tobey Maguire in the secondary market. Gone. I'm warned about Doc Ock. I was talking before about Neo. Say what you want about the movie. A lot of people like this movie, though, and that's Tobey Maguire, and that's a kicking head sculpt. Gone. Batman Armory. Gone. Just was announced not too long ago this year, a few months ago. A couple months ago. Just gone. Gone, gone, gone. Scout Trooper. Gone. Just announced a few months ago. Oh, wow. That is absolutely crazy. 20th anniversary release. We're waiting for more. Well, you're here. This one's already gone. Fox. Gone. Gone. By the way, speaking of anniversary figures, here starts the domino effect. Anakin starts it off. Expect Padme, Mace, and Super Battle Droid to follow. And this will be one of the last figures that are going to be in that 6 to 9 month range of hanging out. This will be the last of them, because the rest of them are not even lasting anywhere from a month to 4 months now. And that's what I'm showing you on the screen. Kang. Low stock. Just FYI. No one's immune. Nothing's immune. Almost gone. Another projection for you. Well, here's Batman. Both versions of this one. Deluxe and Collector. Gone. Adios. Bye, Batman. Any day with this one. And I was showing you this before, too. I mean, this is so low. And again, if you were to ask me which one that they made, they're selling more of, this or the Artisan Anakin, way more plentiful than what this is going to be offered at. Absolutely crazy. If you like what you watched here, check this out, my friends. This is an Insider's Extra. Now, I do have as channel members, which are insiders, the latest show, which is the Wizard's Crystal Ball, Episode 3. And I'm working on the Wizard's Crystal Ball, Episode 4. But before we get the Wizard's Crystal Ball, Episode 4, and Episode 3 really focuses on Darth Vader and what's going to be coming from Hot Toys with the Dark Lord of the Sith. And we talk about Episode 3, we talk about the Obi-Wan series, we talk about the Clone Wars when it comes to Darth Vader, so you don't want to miss that. Recently uploaded for insiders, but here's a brand new one I'm going to upload here. Is the HasLab model a bad idea for Hot Toys? That's the question. You see the banner up over there. If you want to watch this exclusive video, just go click on the join button right here on the channel. See everything that it comes with. If you think you could benefit from it, I do appreciate your support. I can tell you right now that the price is cheaper, baby, than a dozen eggs in most places, than a gallon of gas in most places, than a quarter half and half in most places, than a quarter pound of salmon in many places. Listen, all you got to do, besides believe, click on the little join button, join it, and I think you'll enjoy some of this stuff. But this is coming out this week here for insiders. Is the HasLab model a bad idea? You have to wonder. All right, guys. All right, gals. Smash the like button. Cheers to you. I don't always buy coffee out. Oh, wait a moment. 6 scale raw tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And what you gonna do when the Dark Jedi goes... Well, wait a minute. I'm not going 6 scale raw. Wait, what are you talking about, Aries? You just said you're going to be on 6 scale raw. No, I said that 6 scale raw is tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews channel. My friend Jay, our friend Jay at Brother Cousins is going to be hosting 6 scale raw tomorrow. Just go ahead, same bat time, same bat station, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, but not at 6 scale Cantina. On Brother Cousins Toy Reviews. You don't want to miss that. He's going to be hosting the show. He's going to be on Tatooine. He may be the Hot Toys Wizard. He may be the Hot Toys Wizard disguised as Brother Cousins. He may be the Hot Toys Wizard disguised as the Space Pimp. You won't know until you tune in. But it's going to be 6 Scale Raw on Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. Make sure you subscribe to him as well if you haven't. But make sure you're there tomorrow night, 8:15 p.m. 6 Scale Raw continues. He will be on Tatooine taking care of it. I'm going to be off on Jakku, baby, looking for some new coffee cups. Because the coffee is just so delicious. It's wearing these out, baby. Again, I don't always buy the coffee out, but when I do, I buy it right here at the 6 Scale Cantina. I'll probably drop in or be in the chat at some point tomorrow for 6 Scale Raw, so catch you on there. Again, don't forget, Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Preorder.